Thank you. Good morning. The Thursday, November 6th meeting of the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors will now come to order. This meeting is live streaming and click our County Legislative Information Center, and the agenda is included right there, and the link is on top of the agenda. Our first Vice Chair Shea will share our housekeeping rules.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Housekeeping rules. Please raise your hand when you'd like to be recognized. Make sure to keep your microphone turned off until you are called upon to speak. Please turn your microphone off once you are done speaking. Please maintain a sense of decorum during floor debate on all items throughout today's meeting. Under our rules, the supervisors should ask the chair for permission to exit the meeting under a point of personal privilege.
Thank you. First Vice Chair Shea. Amendment packets are appended online to Budget File 25-668 in the County Legislative Information Center as blue, pink, green, and yellow digests. Our proceedings are live streamed for the public following along. Our heavy lifting on the budget is done within Finance Committee. Chapter 1 of our ordinances actually specify that amendments submitted after the Finance Committee hearings are concluded require suspension of the rules. The first order of business is the call of the roll. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Alexander.
Present.
Belinsky. Here. Capriolo.
Here.
Cogs-Jones.
Here.
Ekblad.
Here.
Gomez-Tom.
Here.
Johnson Jr.
Here.
Logsdon.
Present.
Martin.
Present.
Martinez.
Here.
O'Connor.
Present.
Rolland.
Here.
Shea.
Here.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Here.
Vincent.
Present.
Wasserman. Here. Madam Chairwoman.
In accordance. 18 members present, we have a quorum. I now invite members and our guests to please rise and join our second Vice Chair, Cox-Jones, in a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of reflection on 1 year today, 1 year this week, the life of Jonathan Brostoff. May his memory be a blessing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is presentations by supervisors, followed by the invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We stand on ancestral ground in Milwaukee County on the initiation of this body recognizes November as Native American Heritage Month. Milwaukee County's vision for equity and inclusion moves us to amplify Indigenous voices and recognize the inherent sovereignty of Native nations. Our ordinance requires that the annual meeting start with an invocation. Presumably, the intent of this sacred requirement is to encourage elected representatives to seek spiritual strength as we strive to meet our most important responsibility, adoption of the annual budget for the county. We are honored today to welcome Forest County Potawatomi Chairman Brooks Boyd, Sr., who has agreed to guide this body with an invocation. You may come to the floor. Thank you.
Aha, Nintendo Magaduk, Wabmimi, Indigenous, Makoan Dodam, Bude Wadami, Nishna Bayandal, Aha, Jayak, Nintendo Maganuk, Nui Bigagio, Chamokaman Moin. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brooks Boyd Sr., proudly serving my people as chairman of the Forest County Potawatomi. Thank you for having me today. Milwaukee is particularly a special place for Potawatomi. It was once home for to several Potawatomi villages, including a village very close to where we are here today. Our ancestors occupied these lands for hundreds of years. They fished the rivers and lakes of the area. They tapped the maple tree groves for sugar. They hunted this area, which was very rich in wild game. And they harvested crops each fall. However, in 1833, under the threat of war and removal, the Potawatomi signed the Treaty of Chicago. This treaty ceded to the United States the last of the Potawatomi Aboriginal territory in northern Illinois and eastern Wisconsin. For the next 85 years, some of the Potawatomi evaded federal and state officials attempting to remove them from Wisconsin. And finally, in 1913, the federal government recognized these Potawatomi who refused to leave Wisconsin by providing them with funds they were entitled to under the 1833 treaty to purchase land in Forest County, Wisconsin. And this is why our tribe is named the Forest County Potawatomi. But our homelands are here in Milwaukee and throughout eastern Wisconsin, and this is Potawatomi territory. We are fortunate that the Potawatomi connection to Milwaukee is not just historical, but today our tribe is proudly part of what makes Milwaukee a great place to live, to work. And for Forest County Potawatomi, Native American Heritage Month is more than just a period of celebration. It is a time for remembrance, reflection, and resolve. We honor those who came before us, who protected and upheld our language and culture, traditions, and ways of life through generations of perseverance and hardship. This month serves as a powerful reminder of our responsibility to teach our youth who they are with their identity as Potawatomi people. We come from where we come from and the guiding principles that sustain us through honesty, humility, and respect for all living things. It is also an opportunity to recognize how far we've come, from building strong, vibrant communities to protecting our land. We have ensured that future generations can walk proudly as members of the Forest County Potawatomi and succeed in all their endeavors. For all Native nations, Native American Heritage Month holds deep significance. It is a time for America to listen, learn, and understand that the story of this country, which cannot be told without acknowledging the first people of this land. It is also a time of celebration to recognize the strength, resilience, and endurance of tribal nations all across the continent that we call Turtle Island, each with its own unique language, culture, and customs, yet united in the shared commitment to honor our ancestors, our lands, and our future generations. This month reminds us that our stories are not just relics of the past. They are living, evolving narratives that continue to shape the modern world as we continue to honor all of our heritages. We may continue to rise above differences, strengthen the bridges of understanding, unity, and respect, not only during this month, but for all time. I appreciate the invitation to speak this morning. Aha, miigwech.
Chairman, I would love for us to be able to take a photo with you, and I have a gift for you as well. So if folks want to come over down to the, in front of the dais here. Mr. Clerk?
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is a notice of annual meeting.
Mr. Clerk, thank you. We are on item 1, page 2 of the digest, notice of annual meeting. Mr. Clerk, please read the affidavit.
I, George L. Christensen, being duly sworn on oath, depose and say that I am the county clerk in and for the county of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In such capacity, I did on the 17th of October, 2025, prepare a notice of annual meeting that was sent by U.S. mail to each member of the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors. A copy of the notice is attached herein and made a part of this file. In testimony, my signature and the official seal of Milwaukee County were affixed on the 17th of October, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Vice Chair Shea moves the notice of the annual meeting be received and placed on file. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The notice is received and placed on file.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is files referred to standing committees.
Also on page 2 of the digest, there's one item, 25-3, files referred to standing committees. Vice Chair Shea moves the November 6th listing be received and placed on file. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The listing of files is received and placed on file.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is correction and approval of the Journal of Proceedings from Monday, October 27, 2025.
Also on page 2 of the digest, item 3, file number 25-4, Journal of Proceedings. Vice Chair Shea moves these be adopted. All those in favor of adopting say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The Journal of Proceedings is adopted.
Madam Chairwoman, there is no unfinished business nor reports of county officers. We are now on resolutions and ordinances by and from standing committees, beginning with the Committee on Finance Budget.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We are now on the report of the Committee on Finance, beginning on page 3 of the digest. There are 2 items, 4 or 5. Any requests for separate action? Seeing none. Supervisor Alexander?
Madam Chair, separate action on item 5, please.
Mr. Clerk, please read item 4 into the record.
Item number 4, file number 25-520 from the Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, certifying the property tax levy required in partial support of regional planning in Southeastern Wisconsin calendar year 2026.
No, it's 15 and 16. Okay, actually, so we're going to pivot slightly. We're on this yellow digest. These items are actually 15 and 16.
Yeah.
Any requests for separate action on items 15 or 16?
This is from this morning.
Yes, this is from this morning's special meeting.
This is the yellow packet.
Yeah. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll on the balance.
Go ahead.
Supervisor Vincent?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'm not sure if this is the time, but we're on the yellow packet, you said?
No, we're not on the
Oh,
amendment
okay.
packet, but this should have been dropped off.
Okay, great, perfect,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm in a time tunnel today. We just had a special finance meeting this morning, so this is what we have to dispense of, those 2 items from this morning.
Yes.
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 Yes, exactly.
The darker
exactly.
yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
color.
Purple. Supervisor Alexander?
Point of information, Madam Chairwoman. I'm just trying to understand if we're looking at 4, 5, 15, and 16 as a whole group from finance?
No, we're just looking at these 2 right now.
Just 15
Yes.
and 16 as if it's a finance committee report for
Yes,
separate action?
exactly.
I understand, thank you. I would ask that we take both items separately, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Clerk, please read in item 15.
Item 15, file number 25-704, a resolution by Supervisors Nicholson, Johnson Jr., Taylor, District 5, Rowland, Martinez, Belinsky, O'Connor, Martin, Gomez, Tom, Capriolo, Cogs Jones, Shea, Ekblad, and Vincent, authorizing a $150,000 appropriation transfer from Agency 194-1945, appropriation for contingencies, to Agency 800, Department of Health and Human Services, for emergency supplemental food assistance in response to SNAP reductions during the federal government shutdown. This item was recommended for adoption at your committee this morning.
Any discussion on item 15? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
On adoption, Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland. Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
18 ayes, 0 noes.
18 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, item 16, please.
Item 16, file number 25-705, a resolution by Supervisors Nicholson, O'Connor, Johnson Jr., Belinsky, Taylor District 5, Martin, Gomez Tom, Capriolo, Shea, Vincent, Martinez, Cogs Jones, and Rowland, declaring food apartheid a public health emergency in Milwaukee County and directing county action to address food insecurity during the federal government shutdown. This item was recommended for adoption at your committee this morning.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Supervisor Ekblad.
I ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Ekblad asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander. No. Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad. Aye. Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
17 ayes, 1 no.
17 ayes, 1 no. The item prevails. Mr. Clerk, we'll read in item 4. That's, yep. Yes, yes.
Item number 4, file number 25-520 from the Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, certifying the property tax levy required in partial support of regional planning in southeastern Wisconsin in calendar year 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any discussion? Supervisor Alexander.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I just wanted to note for the record the frustration that I as an elected official have, and I know there's many others that have joined me on this sentiment in the past, that it's very frustrating that other bodies set rates or bring things to our budget that essentially we have no choice but to accept because we're not part of the deliberations of what that amount should be, and it would be unprecedented to ever reject it. It's simply sort of a fact of our budgeting process, and I just wanted to note it for the record. It's very frustrating. I'm not voting yes for it because I agree with it. I'm voting yes for it because it's a part of our bureaucratic red tape that we have to go with the flow in order to get a budget passed, but it shouldn't be this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other discussion on item 4? Seeing none, please call the roll.
On adoption, Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones. Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor, District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
18 ayes, 0.
18 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, item 5, please.
Item 5, file number 25-687, a resolution requesting the Milwaukee County Department of Transportation and the Milwaukee County Transit System to develop a plan to maximize 2026 transit and paratransit service levels and minimize community disruption.
Supervisor Alexander.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I request unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Supervisor Alexander asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objections, so ordered. Any other discussion on item 5? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the, Supervisor Belinsky.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Just wanted to ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor as well.
This is the one we thought you already won on there, yeah. Supervisor Belinsky asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objections, so ordered. No further discussion. Mr. Clerk, please, Supervisor Johnson Jr.
Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell, I ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Chair Johnson. Supervisor Johnson asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objections, so ordered. Going once, going twice. Seeing none. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor, District 5. Taylor, District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
18 ayes, 0 noes.
18 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Yes, Mr. Clerk. Yes.
Madam Chairman, the next order of business is adoption of amendments to the 2026 general county budget.
Okay. The moment we all have been waiting for. We are now ready to consider adoption of amendments to the county executive's 2026 recommended budget. Mr. Clerk, could you read in number 6, which is the blue digest, number 7 is the pink digest, and 8 is the green digest, since these files are interrelated and these 3 agenda items are considered together.
Item number 6 of the digest is amendment number 1, amendments approved by the Committee on Finance budget, which is the blue digest. Item number 7 of the digest is amendments rejected by the Committee on Finance budget, which is the pink digest that includes substitute amendments that are taken up in conjunction with items in the blue digest. There are 2 amendments in the pink digest which are considered substitutes to the items in the blue digest. Item number 8 of the digest is substitute amendments fiscal impact, the green digest. The green digest outlines the fiscal effects of the 2 substitute amendments in the pink digest. The authors of an item in the pink digest may ask the body for unanimous consent to withdraw their rejection substitute amendment at any time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So we will begin with amendments in the blue digest. It's this one here. There are 21 amendments. If you want to request a separate action, or you want to be added as a co-sponsor to an amendment, in the blue packet, indicate so now. Our clerk is here to support us to make sure we're getting supervisor requests and names added to the official county record. And we'll do this by the item number, for example, 1, government affairs policy to support MCTS. So that is how we'll call it out. Supervisor Taylor, 17, followed by Martin.
So I'm calling out 6 and 29, and then are 8 and 30, does 8 come up, or does 30 come up? Because those are those, Those are
Those are
substitute
automatically
so 8 and
separate.
30 are going to come up before us as well?
Yes, Supervisor.
So I'm talking 6, 8, 29, and 30. All right.
So you may request separate action on any of the amendments in the Blue Digest. The balance of items in the Blue Digest not called out are just considered for approval. Amendments in the Blue Digest with a substitute are circled in the packet and automatically called out for separate action. That'll be 8 and 30. Thank you. And we have 6, 29, and 30. 8 is the substitute in the pink packet for 22, and then 30 is the substitute in the pink packet for number 12. Supervisor Alexander?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'd like to call out amendments from the blue packet, 1, 3, 4, and 25.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other requests for separate action? Supervisor Martin? Supervisor Vincent?
2, please.
Yeah. So far, I have items 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 25, 26, 29, item 30. Again, if you wish to co-sponsor any amendment, you will call that out for separate action now. Any other requests for separate action? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 25, 26, 29, and 30 called out for separate action. 5. Vincent?
Nobody.
Okay. Supervisor Alexander?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Point of information, I just want to clarify, where is Amendment 28? I thought that was regarding a bus route, but when I'm flipping through my packets, I'm not seeing it, and I just want to make sure, is that my oversight, or?
Are you regarding the Route 28?
Oh, maybe that's where I got my
Okay,
wires
yeah.
crossed.
Which is the item 22, is item 8 substitute for number
The
22?
item 8 substitute. Thank you.
Yes. She's talking about this one, it's 22, which restores Route 28. I'll give folks an additional second to just ensure they have their item pulled out. Supervisor Alexander, you're okay? Okay. So I'll repeat, we have items 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 25, 26, 29, and 30 called out for separate action. Any other requests for separate action? Supervisor Vincent?
Number 10, please.
Item 10 has been called out for separate action. Any other requests? Any other requests? All right. We will now vote on the balance of the amendments not called out for separate action in the blue digest. Remember, those are considered for approval. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption of the balance of the blue packet. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Valinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones. Ekblad. Gomez Tom. Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
18 ayes, 0 noes.
18 ayes, 0 noes. The balance is adopted. We will now proceed with the First Amendment called out for separate action. Mr. Clerk, please read the First Amendment called out, item 1.
Item 1, Government Affairs Policy to support MCTS.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any wish to be heard on this amendment? Supervisor Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I just ask for unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Vincent asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor to Amendment 1. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Any other discussion on the item? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon. Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor. Rowland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. 17 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, Amendment 2.
Amendment number 2, MTS Governance Restructure Report.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I'll ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objection. Supervisor Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Also would like to ask unanimous consent to be added. Thank you.
Vincent Ekblad. Capriolo. Martin. Cogs Jones. Logsdon. Myself, Supervisor Vincent, Ekblad, Capriolo, Martin, Cogs, Jones, and Logsdon ask unanimous consent to be added as co-sponsors. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption of item number 2. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones. Ekblad. Gomez Tom. Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland. Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. Sorry, I got distracted. How many was that, Mr. Clerk? 18 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, please, item 3.
Item number 3, increase investment earnings assumption, fund DHHS programs, remove spousal surcharge.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any discussion on the amendment? Number 3. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.,
Aye.
Logsden,
Aye.
Martin, Martinez,
Aye.
O'Connor,
Aye.
Rolland,
Aye.
Shay,
Aye.
Taylor District 5, Taylor District 17,
Aye.
Vincent, Wasserman, Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. 17 ayes, 1 no. The item prevails. Mr. Clerk, Amendment 4, please.
Item 4, remove office copay / dental charges, changes, and add drug copay.
Any discussion? Amendment 4. Supervisor Ekblad?
I ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Ekblad asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objection, so ordered. I'll also ask to be added. Hearing no objection. Cox Jones? Supervisor Cox Jones?
If I could please be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Cox Jones asks unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Martin? Any other co-sponsorship requests? Hearing no objection, so ordered. Ekblad, Nicholson, Bovell, Cox Jones, Martin. All right, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander,
No.
Belinsky,
Aye.
Capriolo,
Aye.
Cox Jones,
Aye.
Ekblad,
Aye.
Gomez Tom,
Aye.
Johnson Jr.,
Aye.
Logsden,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Martinez,
Aye.
O'Connor,
Aye.
Rolland,
Aye.
Shay,
Aye.
Taylor District 5, Taylor District 17,
Aye.
Vincent, Wasserman, Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
17 ayes.
17 ayes, 1 no. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, we are on Amendment 6.
Amendment 6, Vehicle Registration Fee Report.
Any discussion on this item? Amendment 6. Supervisor Ekblad?
Request unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor, Madam Chair.
Supervisor Ekblad asked unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Any other discussion? Amendment 6. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander,
No.
Belinsky,
Aye.
Capriolo,
Aye.
Cox Jones,
Aye.
Ekblad,
Aye.
Gomez Tom,
Aye.
Johnson Jr.,
Aye.
Logsden,
Aye.
Martin, Martinez,
Aye.
O'Connor,
Aye.
Rolland,
Aye.
Shay,
Aye.
Taylor District 5, Taylor District 17,
No.
Vincent,
Aye.
Wasserman, Madam Chairwoman.
No.
15 ayes, 3
15 ayes, 3 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, we are on item 8, sub 22 in pink packet. Please read in item 8.
Item 8, remove funding from IJCC Courthouse Project, restore MCTS Route 28, which coincides with substitute number 22 in the pink packet.
Any discussion on item 8? Supervisor Rowland, followed by Supervisor Ekblad.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And then Taylor 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I know we spend a lot of time in committee talking about this, but just want to spend a little time, and I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I do want to spend some time talking about the risks associated with this amendment, because I see there are 3 possible paths that we could go down here. One is that this amendment will pass, and it will fund Route 28, and we will deduct that money from the public safety building, and the state legislature will decide that that's fine, and, nothing bad will happen. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that we adopt the item, it passes, and the state legislature reacts negatively to this, and over the next 20 years, we lose $400 million. Because it's about $20 million a year that we're getting from the state as part of this arrangement that was made by the county executive's office and the state legislature and the governor's office. If they react negatively to that, taxpayers here will have to pick up the tab of an additional $400 million over the next 20 years. That's one possible outcome. And I would argue that's just as significant as what happened here a couple decades ago when the pension vote happened. I would argue it's even more problematic because we know that's a possibility. My understanding that at the time, decades ago, supervisors didn't realize how problematic that pension vote would be. I think we all know right now, and if you don't, I'm asking you to please just be aware of that risk. If we vote for this and the state legislature decides, nope, that money was supposed to be for the public safety building, you're not using it appropriately, we're taking it all away, that's $400 million that our county citizens, our constituents, will now have to cover. So I just think that's a significant, massive risk that we're taking to save one bus route when we have a solution that we all just voted for unanimously in item 19, the chairwoman's super amendment that would provide MCTS with $4.7 million to think through which bus routes should we fund based on their analysis, based on the data, based on how much we can save, right? So we have a viable solution to save Route 28 alongside all of the other routes. So I would, I guess, just hope that we've already voted for that, so I don't even have to ask you to vote for that. Let's commit to that. And then I'll just leave it to you to decide, is the juice worth the squeeze on that? Is the risk worth the reward? I just think the risk here is massive, massive. It's a massive risk we would take to pass this. So I just think before you vote, really go deep inside and decide, do you want to take that risk or not? Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Rowland. Supervisor Ekblad, followed by Supervisor Belinsky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like a point of clarification. If I would like to propose Amendment 22, which was rejected by Finance as a substitute for Amendment 8, do I do that now or do I wait for item 7 on the agenda?
You will motion to substitute the item. You could do that now.
Okay.
And then a debate becomes whether or not 22 should be substituted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to make a motion to substitute Amendment 22, which was rejected by Finance, in place of Amendment 8.
Okay, so the motion is shall substitute Amendment 22 be substituted for the recommendation of the Committee on Finance for number 8. Okay, so now we're
22 is in the red digest for my
Yes,
colleagues.
that's
22
in
is in the
the-
red digest.
The pink one has the,
Pink. I'm a little colorblind. Not a lot colorblind, but a little colorblind.
it's pink. Okay.
Yeah.
So discussion, so the question before us now is shall we substitute? That's
Yes.
that's the
And
discussion.
May I speak to that, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. I want to first of all acknowledge that this is a little bit awkward to substitute because now we're dealing with 2 items within a single amendment, which is a little bit awkward, but I think it's a debate that we absolutely must have. And I think this was a debate that we did not and were not able to have before Finance. I want to just kind of outline for my colleagues who didn't watch that debate. We are finding $150,000 by taking money that would be spent on net new flock cameras. We're not touching any of the money for existing flock cameras. And 0.1% of a $7 million kitchen renovation, and we have a structured partnership for Route 55 that was worked out not by Supervisor Ekblad, but by transportation officials at MCTS and MPS that would preserve transportation along bus route 55 and demonstrate the viability of a partnership between MPS and MCTS that we can then use in the coming year as these budget discussions get harder. It is also an opportunity to debate the brass tacks priorities of this body as we move forward into harder budget decisions. And in finance, the debate was understandably a little emotional about several deaths that had occurred in these parks and the accusation of misinformation around cameras. So I just want to clarify what I mean by the brass tacks priorities of this body. It is true that there have been crimes and unfortunately several deaths, I believe 3 between the Deneen Park and McGovern Park over the last several years. It is also true that the cameras in question, according to the company's website, have a range of reading license plates of 75 feet. That means that ideally, in an ideal 360-degree visibility circumstance, they would be able to provide a viable deterrent or maybe information to the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office of around an area of 5,625 square feet. This represents less than 1% of 1/5 of these parks. Deneen Park is 59 acres, McGovern is 61, and I believe Washington Park is over twice that size. We are talking about a minimal deterrent in a small part of these parks. In exchange for the money of these cameras and a very expensive stove, there are 1,349 students who attend Reagan High School every day. If only 40 of them, we know that number is really low. If only 40 of them took the bus every morning on the 55, the alternative, if the 55 goes away, is they're going to have to walk at least 7 blocks more, morning and afternoon. We'll say that's 28 minutes, right? A half an hour, that's an extra hour every day. That's 10,000 plus hours a year that we are forcing these students to walk in exchange for cameras that cover less than 1% of the parks in question. We are going to have to make decisions before this body on where we're going to tell those kids our priorities are. And not only do we preserve transportation for kids who have worked for 8 years to go to the #1 high school in the state of Wisconsin, we are creating a direction for MCTS. We are directing them to explore a partnership which will help us make these tough decisions in the coming year. This is not about preserving one bus route in one district. This is about serving kids from across Milwaukee County, trying to get to the best school that they've been trying to get into for 8 years, and also signaling to the residents of Milwaukee County that when it comes to minimal deterrence, our priorities are actually in providing services and increasing the quality of life here in Milwaukee County. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Ekblad. Supervisor Belinsky, followed by Taylor 5, and then Capriolo.
Okay, I'll keep my comments just on this substitute. I would urge my colleagues, as we did in finance, to not approve the substitute. I think that the additional funding sources kind of confuses the issue a little bit, and I think that, we can have a debate over flat cameras. In fact, we're going to have an item in JLEGS in December where we talk about the policy regarding flat cameras, which I, put forward. And I think that's a debate we need to have, but maybe not at this time in this particular manner. Regarding the CRC kitchen, I know we had an issue with some food prep that, there was something that led to some food poisoning at a certain point. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that this kitchen project gets finished. I just would, I very much appreciate what Supervisor Ekblad is trying to do with the route. I do believe, given the small price tag, that this can be easily included in our omnibus amendment on the MCTS funding, the $4.7 million. And so I would just say that this time we should reject this substitute, but I do appreciate, the intent here.
Thank you, and I do have a list here written down after all. So we have Taylor 5, Taylor 17, Capriolo Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and let me try to preference, because now I know we are on the amendment of the amendment. I think I have more of a clarifying question because of the super amendment, so if someone can answer that. How would this, I was going to ask for the other one too, but how would this amendment then affect the super amendment we did pass and the majority of us signed on to? In reference.
Supervisor Taylor.
Well, I would just say that if this would have passed, if these amendments, either 22 or 30 would pass, then that money wouldn't have to be spent out of that $4.7 million. So that could go to all different routes.
Right.
Not that I support it. I support the 19, not the two we're debating now, but that money would obviously be spoken for on these amendments, and so
it
you have
would be
4.7
erased
for
out.
new routes. If we don't do this, then you'd want to try to get the 28 done, which I think is the
Absolutely.
plan for those that supported 19. But I'll sit down and talk when you're
Thank
done.
you. And absolutely, and I know, Madam Chairwoman, because I sit on finance, but I just wanted a clarity for maybe some other people as we are debating which one we're going to vote for, how any amendment we vote for or we take out is going to affect any other amendment, right? Like, there's going to be no way around it. There's no extra money. There's no cushion. We're not hiding. No one is going to come up with $4 million, right? We just don't have it. So getting back to this amendment too, but just in retrospect, I want us to understand that as we are going to pass a budget today, and maybe it determines what that budget may look like for any amendment or substitute amendment, because it has already been included, it's going to take away from something else. So I just want us to think about that. I truly think you vote for the amendments for the first one because I did support it, but given I signed on to the super amendment, I know I'm going to continue my support behind that one, and so I wouldn't want to do anything that's going to interrupt a lot of those services that we all know that are so needed. And I'm sorry, someone at the state too, I know we should get more money, but there is none. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Supervisor Belinsky, you wanted to respond to something?
Just a point of clarification. The funding sources are different for the 4.7 million and the Amendment 8. So this would not take away, in fact, it would enhance the scope of what we're able to do to restore transit routes. Yeah.
Taylor 17, you're actually on the floor.
Thank you. So let's just lay this out here. So basically, if we go with Amendment 8 or Amendment 22, there's Route 28 is going to be saved, which means you have $4.7 million left for any other routes. If we don't pass the amendments, which I do not support, we only have 4.7, and if we put it towards 28, then we have like 3.5 or something like that left. Okay, so that's let's just, am I accurate? Everybody agrees with me? Nobody has any questions? Okay, good. So 22, I'm going to vote no. The funding source for the route 28 is still the problem. It's playing chicken with the state legislature, which is still controlled by the Republicans and will be controlled by the Republicans when we need to go to them in like the early part of next year and say, can you help us with transit? Can you help us? Now imagine the scenario where we vote to basically say, yeah, we did a deal with you. Now we're going to change. We're not going to fulfill the deal. We're basically going to say, you know what? Thank you for $19 million. We appreciate it, and we know where that money is supposed to go, but we're going to now put it somewhere else. We're going to put it towards buses. And now we're here to talk about buses after we went against the agreement that we had, and they're going to trust us to spend money wisely? No. And I think there are still some in this room that think that in next November, in the midterm elections, that the Democrats are going to sweep control of the state. This state is still purple. I mean, the numbers may tighten, but I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. And so you could have a split house. You could have a Democrat governor still. We need to build bridges, not like literally stab the other party in the back, the party that I belong to. That's just not smart. I've had some conversations with some elected officials, and they're watching what we're doing. And that's not Big Brother, that's just reality, okay? So we want to reject this, and then we want to reject 8. And another reason we want to reject it is, does anybody want to come back here for a veto override? Because that's going to happen. There's no doubt that the county executive who negotiated this deal is going to just sit back and say, yeah, we're going to let the board on a 10-8 vote or whatever it's going to be. Let's not come back down here. Let's not come back next week to deal with that potential. But we should definitely not, when we know that we can't solve this MCTS crisis by ourselves. We cannot. And before the Democrats sweep power, which some people think is going to happen, we are going to still have to work with the state legislature prior to next year's budget. Because if we're sitting here next year and we have gotten nothing done and we've gotten no assistance from the state, we have another $15 million problem. So you thought the cuts this year were bad? And we just saved like maybe a third of it with the Amendment 19? You think this year was bad? Wait till next year when there's another $15 million problem. And we're not going to be able to solve it ourselves. So reject this, and then reject number 8, and let's move on.
Supervisor Capriolo.
Thank you very much. I will not take up a lot of time. I want to echo that I do worry about the state coming back and saying, oh, you're going to divert money. Well, we're going to divert our commitment to you as well. So I do follow that logic, and I have that fear. My question is, and I really appreciate the fierce advocacy that my colleagues have for saving bus routes and their arguments for it. I love that Supervisor Ekblad is looking at partnering with MPS, MCTS, and MPS partnership. My question is, can't that be accomplished with Amendment 19 as well? So I do feel like we all supported this super amendment to get MCTS money. They are hopefully the experts on how to use it, and we will be watching, and we get to, I think, approve how they want to use it. So at this moment, I would prefer to support the super amendment, and hopefully all of the routes in all of our districts get saved at some point. Thank you.
Supervisor Vincent, followed by Supervisor Shea.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I won't belabor this too much either. I am originally signed on as a co-sponsor, so I'm going to ask to withdraw at this point, especially after listening to Supervisor from the 6th District explaining and re-explaining the concerns that would take us down the wrong path as far as the facility taking money from that. I think that the funding source is the problem here, but we also do have a solution, as was mentioned before. So I would again like to ask to be removed, and I don't know if we need to make a motion to reject or if we just should take a vote on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Vincent. Ask consent to be removed as a co-sponsor on Amendment 22. The question will be, shall we substitute? And we'll dispense of that, and we'll be back to the original based on how that vote goes. Supervisor Shea.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As Chair of the Transit Committee, I support funding transit. We were all at the domes. We heard from the people of Milwaukee County. They want transit saved. At the same time, we are dealing with this situation due to, as was mentioned in finance earlier today, due to the dysfunction in Washington and in Madison. And regardless of next year's elections, when next year's budget comes along, we will still have, I'm guessing, a great deal of dysfunction in Washington and the state. Now, Supervisor Rollin mentioned the possibility that the legislature in Madison will retaliate if we pass this measure. I think that's pretty much given. I couldn't possibly see them not. The county exec, when he testified in front of finance, made it clear, in case anybody didn't notice, that he would veto this amendment. So let's all be clear what we're voting for. Thank you.
Supervisor Belinsky.
I mean, point of fact, the county executive did not say he would veto. He urged against passing the amendment. He did not say he would veto.
Supervisor Logston. And then I see you, Supervisor Martinez.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I urge everybody to listen to what my colleagues are saying, especially my colleague from the 6th that brought forth the first explanation of why we have to vote no. I was in Madison yesterday, and yes, they are looking at things like this. When they designate monies for certain things, they want to see that it does go through. We are the stewards of our taxpayers' money, and we have to make sure we don't play Russian roulette with their money. So I urge everyone to vote no. Thank you.
Supervisor Martinez, followed by Supervisor Alexander.
Thank you very much. I am also a co-sponsor on this one, and like Supervisor Vincent, I do have to withdraw my name. I do appreciate Supervisor Ekblad's leadership on this and everything that he's trying to do, and I was all for it in the beginning. But as the more I listened and the more I just took a lot of other factors into account, I realized I had to oppose, and that's why I opposed it in finance. And putting my name on something that I oppose doesn't really look right. So yeah, I'd like to withdraw my name, and I will also be voting no.
Supervisor Alexander.
Madam Chair, I'd first off like to encourage colleagues that we should never base our votes on whether or not we want to come back to have to vote on a veto issue. I think that we're all willing to do the hard work here of good policy making to the best of our ability. So that's not a relevant argument for me. If the county executive vetoes something, whatever it is, and we would need to come back, then so be it. We have that scheduled for a reason. I think that if we try to move forward with either of the issues, either of the amendments brought forward, I think we will be hurting later on. It doesn't mean that without the amendments that we don't have problems. We certainly do. What a sticky and horrible situation to be in. I've been questioning why would MCTS even put us in a position where bus routes would potentially be cut during winter in Wisconsin? Why couldn't dates be put forward to cut them when the weather is better so that if people do have to make adjustments, it's not mid-school year or in winter where they might have to walk for a while or figure out alternatives as a last-minute effort that they're going to have to figure out over the holidays because of a January 1st implementation date. What poor planning, and I'm severely disappointed in that. With that said, I am willing to support substitution for the purpose of our procedures here. I do plan to vote against either that would be before us for the vote into inclusion in the budget because of the fiscal problems that I think it will bring with it. It would solve some smaller problems temporarily and create larger problems for the county long term. And I think collectively we can come up with some better answers over the next few months. It may unfortunately result in some January 1st bus routes being cut, and I hate that. But following the pathways that are before us, I think we're all in a position that we have to choose the lesser of the evils. And right now, that means being fiscally responsible and looking for long-term solutions. Thank you.
Supervisor Cox-Jones. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to applaud my colleagues for speaking up and fighting a good fight to keep our bus routes active. However, restoring this route through this amendment does not come with sustainable funding. We will be putting a temporary fix only to face more of a fiscal budget cliff in the coming year. So if we're serious about strengthening mass transit and the long-term matter, we must operate in good faith with our state partners to avoid redirecting funds that have already been committed to critical public needs. So I want us to have a real conversation about sustainable transit solutions and not a temporary fix that places us in a worse position next year. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Cox-Jones. Any further discussion? So substitute Amendment 22 is before the body. The motion has been made to substitute. So the question is, shall substitute Amendment 22 be substituted for the recommendation of Amendment 8 of the Committee on Finance? Mr. Clerk.
On the question, Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
No.
Capriolo.
I'm sorry, can you tell me, I'm voting if I want 22 to be considered instead of 8?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Shall 22 be substituted for 8?
So no.
Cox-Jones.
Yeah.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
No.
Johnson Jr. No. Logsdon.
No.
Martin. No. Martinez.
No.
O'Connor.
No.
Rolland.
No.
Shea.
No.
Taylor District 5. No. Taylor District 17.
No.
Vincent.
No.
Wasserman. No. Madam Chairwoman.
No. 2 ayes, 16 noes. Amendment or substitute 22 fails. We are back to our original recommendation of item 8. Any discussion? Supervisor Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I just want to be clear, when I get up here and speak and I lay things out in the open, it's for a reason, okay? The reason I brought veto is because it is a reality. And why? And the reason I bring it up is this is the 4th budget that I've been in since I've been back on the board, right? We haven't had to come back on a veto that I can recall. We've had pretty much budgets that we've adopted that the executive, even if he didn't like 1 or 2 things, he's let it slid through. But this is clearly, when he came to finance on Friday, this was the item he spoke on the most. It made it clear the ramifications. So did he come out right and say, I'm going to veto this? No, but the writing's on the wall. It's not about whether or not we come back. That is a reality that we would have to come back, and I don't mind, you know, I like coming down here once in a while. I was here for the whole month of October, as my colleagues on finance were as well, where everybody else is enjoying their lives. Okay, but when it's that clear that this is a bad idea because we are playing chicken with the state legislature and it could do damage on helping, they could be a partner in helping us solve the MCTS issue. I think, you know, Amendment 19 is going to allow all the discussion, as Supervisor Caparillo said, all the discussion possible regarding the school district MPS. I mean, that can happen. You don't need it with 22, which we obviously killed. But now we're on 8. You know, let's just vote this down. We can use the super to save 28. We can work with the school district on 55 and others. I mean, we need partners. But the biggest partner besides the feds, and we know how dysfunctional they are, is Madison. And we can lobby them in the beginning of the year before they all go out of session at some point and spend 7 months campaigning for themselves while they're collecting a paycheck, because that's what they do. They literally will spend the second half of the year campaigning, getting paid, and not going to Madison. They have 2 aides, you know, per legislator, I think. Some have more, I believe. And so while we are splitting, you know, 3 people, one LA, so we can work with them in the beginning of the year. But if we do this, I mean, we're not trustworthy.
Supervisor Johnson Jr.
Thank you, Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell. I'm going to vote for Amendment 8. I'm going to vote for the Amendment 8, and I'm going to also vote for Amendment 19. I'm going to vote for November 8 because I heard about the blind people, blind persons who take 28 to get to where they need to go to school, wherever they're going to go. And I just shudder at the fact that a lot of transportation arrangements, special arrangements, would have to be made if they were not to be able to use the bus. I thought about this. I seriously thought about this, given what the discussion was about as it relates to Route 28, in this case, Amendment 8. But I will be voting for Amendment 19. I will be voting for that. But I just wanted to say I'm going to vote for this temporarily, and I will be voting for the more encompassing amendment later. But I just want to get that out. You know, sometimes we do things because of money. Sometimes we do things because we're dealing with human beings. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you,
Bobel.
Supervisor Johnson. I saw Supervisor Belinsky, followed by Supervisor Rowland.
All right, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. It's no secret this is my top priority in this budget. I just want to thank actually Supervisor Johnson for what he just said. I think that is very important. We're not playing a game of chicken with the state. The state has played chicken with us for decades, okay? I know the county executive has higher ambitions, but how can he expect to be taken seriously by a legislature if he's acting this cowardly right now, okay? They will not respect him. I know these people. They will not respect him. If he vetoes this, because of this handshake agreement that he made, which is not in the legislative journal, it is not in the budget, it is not put on paper anywhere, this is a handshake agreement. This money was designated in the budget for highway patrol, an unfunded mandate that we still have, right? Because this money isn't going to highway patrol. Some of it is being put to sheriff overtime, we did that already. So not all this money that was allocated in the budget for highway patrols is going to the safety building. That's just not happening. This amendment doesn't take all the money away. This takes 1/13 of the $15.8 million we allocated for planning purposes for 1 year to save a very vital bus route that helps dozens of blind and hard of hearing people make it to 3 different places along that route that serve hard of hearing and deaf and blind people, okay? It goes to 5 supervisory districts. It goes to 4 different communities. I just shudder to think what the supervisor from the 6th is going to have to do to explain why he voted against saving the bus route that he just got credit in an email from some of the advocates for supporting. I had to tell him, no, actually he didn't vote for that amendment. It's possible we could find funding for Route 28 and the other amendment, the $4.7 million. Maybe. That's no guarantee. But my intention for putting this forward was not to be the only thing we do for transit. It was to be the one thing we do before we do the other thing for transit. We need all of this money. Transit is a basic infrastructure. It's a basic public service. New York City just elected a mayor. The center of global capitalism just elected a mayor that's promising to make the buses free. That's a direction we should be going in. We're not going there because we can't. But we absolutely need as much bus service as we can get. And I don't give a damn if we take $1.2 billion from a $500 billion project that we may not even really need at that scope. We could build a smaller one that would not burden us so much going forward. Because look, if the economy goes where we think it's gonna go, we're not going to be able to afford the safety building. We need to afford bus routes. We have a study on where this, what's gonna be the future of the safety building. I think we're gonna build something, but God, the FISA reform only cost $527 million. $500 million for a courthouse so we can lock people up quicker, so we can feed the industrial, the prison industrial complex even more than we already do. I don't know that that's more important than getting people to work, than getting people to school, than getting people to the zoo, getting people to Mayfair Mall, right? We cannot play as if we are cowards because the Republicans are gonna do what they're gonna do. And I happen to work in the legislature. I happen to feel that the Senate will change hands next year. We'll see what happens. The only way that we get punished for doing this action today is if Republicans still control the governor's, if they control the governor's seat and they can still control the legislature. So that's a bet, right? But you know what? If that happens, if a Republican wins the governorship, we are screwed in Milwaukee County anyway, okay? So that just can't happen. We need to do everything we can to preserve the basic services because once they are gone, they are gone. We don't get them back. You're right, this is a short-term solution. This is a 1-year solution. But you know what? Next year we're gonna have to do something else and it's gonna rhyme with wheel tax. That's probably gonna have to happen. And this fares that were raised already by 75 cents to the people that do pay, that amounts to like a $280 wheel tax that they're paying to get to work. So if we have to raise the wheel tax by $20, $30 next year, $10, whatever it ends up being, that's what we're gonna have to do. But we can't turn our backs on the people that need this help right now because we're scared of what the legislature might do. And by the way, the money is guaranteed at least through the end of next year. even if a new budget were to be signed in 2027, we still get the money next year. But it doesn't change the fact we have an unfunded mandate, right? So our sheriff's department is going to have a deficit no matter what. This budget ensures the sheriff's department is going to have a deficit again next year. So, like, you know, what are we doing here? We're playing scared, and when has appeasement ever benefited the people against tyrannical leadership? It never has, and it won't if we reject this.
Supervisor Rowland, followed by Supervisor Taylor, 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm not here to carry water for the county executive. He can speak for himself. But if I was him, what do I think he would say? I would say that he has focused on building partnerships to get things done with the state, with the city, with MPS, with whomever he can build a partnership with. And that is how the sales tax thing got done. That is how this thing with the public safety building got done, partnerships. Trust, even if trust doesn't make sense, it's a little bit of a leap of faith. That's what he and what we have done, what Alec Knudsen, led while he was leading our government relations efforts. There were a lot of good people who did a lot of, bit their tongue at a lot of times and leaned into partnership even when it was hard. And I want to applaud what they were able to accomplish, because if they didn't accomplish those things, we'd be in a much, much more difficult financial place than we are right now. I think just to dump a bucket of water on this and get back to some numbers, the Amendment 19 that we passed provides MCTS with $4.7 million that they can use to bring back bus routes. That's the whole point of Amendment 19. We also got an email from the head of MCTS saying that they could restore, at least at a day tripper level, all of the 6 routes that are on the chopping block right now for $1.6 million. So there's more than enough money to restore all the 6 routes that we are concerned about cutting, at least at that day tripper level. It's not, ideal, but at least we have a viable way to get there. And that there are folks from, Route 28 who have questions for me about why I'm voting against this. I'm happy to explain. I'm backing the chairwoman's super amendment to adopt Amendment 19 unanimously, which set aside money for MCTS to make that happen. And I will join the supervisor in December. If Route 28 for some reason is not part of that package, I'm sure we can figure that out. And I'm sure I don't hear anybody saying Route 28 shouldn't be in there. I don't think anybody's saying we should make it harder for people who are vision impaired to get anywhere. I don't hear that. I think there's a 0% chance, I think, that Route 28 won't be in there. So I think it's going to be in there. So let's use the monies that we set aside in 19. We all unanimously voted for it. And let's continue to do what's worked well, which is partnering with whomever will partner with us to get big problems solved. Thank you.
Supervisor Taylor, 5, followed by Supervisor Taylor, 17.
Chairwoman, I almost decided not to speak. So as we're passing the budget, and I think, unbeknownst to me, it's been 10 years when we both came in, and I think about, we're sitting here, and somehow the discussion seems to have got away from busing to the county executive, right, in Madison. And I get it, we're all mad about Madison. I'm in Madison, right? We all understand that. I want the focus to be that we're coming to deliberate a budget for the county of Milwaukee. We've said it so many times that Madison is not friendly to Milwaukee. I don't see that changing. But I guess I just couldn't sit down when it's basically saying, we're making a decision because we're scared, right, of Madison or what the county executive is going to do. And I have so much respect for him. I've known him before we all was elected, right? But I have a due diligence to my constituents, but the constituents of Milwaukee County. And that's why, and I know we're saying the chairwoman super amendment, but if you signed on to it, then you should take accountability for it too. And that's what we're all going to have to do. Today when we leave, regardless of what's going to be in this budget or not, right? And I really just want to sit down, but I got to say it. We're all going to take account, whether you voted yes or whether you voted no. right? So you're going to go back to your constituents. We're all going to send out this lovely newsletter that's coming out at the end of this year and be held accountable for what we voted for, what we didn't vote for, but what we stood up and what we advocated for. So I just want us to take that into acknowledgement and not make it about the county executive. I'm not saying you can't talk about him, but at the end of the day, this budget is on the Milwaukee County Board, whether it's going to pass or not. So whether it's yes or whether it's no, and Madison has never been friendly to us. I don't see them get friendlier. I don't care what happens in November or next year as well too, because I sit there each and every day and I fight and advocate for Milwaukee, and sometimes I'm by myself. So I understand it. So Chairwoman, I know I kind of went up the topic. I just want us to really think about some of the stuff that we're saying. I know the news is here and that makes people want to get up and talk. It makes me want to sit down quicker, but we all got to do diligence to the constituents who elected us. Let's be elected and take the hard votes, whether it's yes or whether it's no. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And I am supporting 19, and I am taking ownership because I co-authored it as well. But thank you for your leadership.
Yes, thank you. Supervisor Taylor, 17.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Well, 19 passed already unanimously.
Yes.
Want to say just a few things. One, quickly, a lot of respect for Supervisor Belinsky. I mean, you fight for your district, you fight what you believe in, and I truly appreciate that. Even when we disagree, a lot of respect for what you're saying. You know, it's when it comes to like trust, it's, you know, it's not about being afraid of Madison, or Madison has never been very kind to Milwaukee County. If you just look at the past few years, there has been some compromises, there has been some agreements. I mean, the sales tax, well, even though I didn't like it, didn't vote for it because I thought shared revenue was the issue and we should have got our money back, it was a necessity to help us with the pension situation. But when you want to really talk about trust, it's about the trust that MCTS needs to gain from this body, okay? MCTS, like, betrayed us. They lied to us, they concealed things. I mean, if they would have got their way, we would have learned nothing. They would have tried to bury these changes in this budget, and we would have never found out. That was what the leadership was doing. So they have a lot of work to do, to gain our trust. And one way they can do that is pay attention to this meeting. When you're not hearing one individual saying they don't believe the 28 should be there, or the 55, it's about where the money's coming from. So the fact that the chairwoman's amendment that just passed unanimously has 4.7 million, and we know we need 1.2, we know we need, what, 150 grand or 300,000, whatever we need for the 55? 150,000. If they're not watching this, and when they come to us in December, and if that's not included, not day trippers, no, the actual route that Supervisor Belinsky and Supervisor Ekblad brought forward, if they do not put that a part of the 4.7 and that is their proposal, then they're not paying attention to us at all. They're not even respecting us. They lied to us. All you did was a change of leadership, and they're going down the same path. All right? So I think, like, no matter how this amendment unfolds, the debate that's taken place has made clear to MCTS, when you come back in December, the 28 better be there, and the 55 better be there. Okay? Well, no, but this is what we're debating right now, so let's not get, all right? We can't save them all. When you have $14 million problem, you can't save them all with 4.7. That is simple math. So once again, 28 and 55, that's what we're debating. 4.7, they got another like 3.3. They can figure out how to help the other routes.
Vincent, Supervisor Ekblad.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I won't belabor this too long, but to say that we are talking about MCTS across the board right now. It was said by several of my colleagues before, they do have a large task at hand. They have heard not only from our public budget hearing as a whole, but many of us had them at our town halls, and they were hearing from the real people that are going to be impacted by the decisions that are being made. I do agree with the supervisor from the 17th. There is a huge trust issue right now. They're on my speed dial for any situation that I have regarding MCTS because of the fact that my residents are they're so affected by this. And so at this point, to Supervisor Belinsky, I do appreciate and want him to know that I support him fighting the fight for his residents for this bus route, just as I am doing for the 24 and the 55. You all heard from my board in Greendale. I asked for them to speak together as to how this is going to impact the residents of Greendale. And so they put together a resolution that I shared with all of you. And although it's not this current bus route that we're talking about, something does need to be done. Our transit services are the lifeline for the residents of Milwaukee County. Many of my residents were at that public budget hearing. You heard from several of them, some blind, some senior. They have to get to their places. And for us to just cut them off or to allow the county to cut them off is not acceptable. So I'm not going to support this one at this time, but the full one, yes, all of our routes need to be considered in that, and all of the residents of Milwaukee County need to be part of this solution. And about taking on Madison, I do believe that they need to be working with us. This is a transit circumstance, and if they want our state to be a thriving state, they are going to need to get behind the funding that is necessary to get our individuals to the places that they need to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Vincent. Supervisor Ekblad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to applaud Supervisor Belinsky for advocating for his constituents, hands down. I want to take just a brief moment and take a step back and explain my no vote on this amendment, having offered a substitute. And I've said this to MCTS leadership. The way that the deficit was hidden from the board was did not just do harm to MCTS in Milwaukee. It did harm to the statewide coalition that will be necessary to advocate for dedicated transit funding. I'm talking about Brown County, Stevens Point, Dane County, Kenosha, Racine, Beloit. And understanding that we are trying to make up that gap on the fly, I want to thank the chairwoman for her leadership for the Super Amendment 19. The last thing that we should be doing is hurting that coalition statewide and running the risk of cutting its knees out from underneath it again. This is a time of crisis for public transportation, but that makes it doubly important that we have a long view and not just get stuck in the weeds, and make sure that we're playing chess and not checkers. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Supervisor Cox-Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to add my 2 cents in right now since we're talking about MCTS. And what stands before us is that there needs to be a level of action called on all levels of government, from the city, the state, and the county, just so that they can ensure and see the importance of how the transit cuts are impacting the residents of Milwaukee County. And I don't know if we need to make a field trip to go up there or get some sort of arrangements made, but we all need to be up at state once transit is coming before the representatives in the House and so forth, so that they can not only see how serious we are about ensuring that transit stays active for the upcoming budget in the future years, Madam Chair. So I don't know if this is the place to do it, but I'm calling on your leadership, I'm calling on my colleagues' leadership, and whomever else who have their 2 cents to put in this as well, to make sure that when the time comes that we are up there voicing our concerns, not just here in this county boardroom, but up there as well. And I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the question.
The question is adoption of amendment number 8. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
No.
Cox-Jones.
No.
Ekblad.
No.
Gomez-Tom.
No.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
No.
Martin. No. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
No.
Shea. Aye. Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
No.
Vincent.
No.
Wasserman. No. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. Section 12. 6 ayes, 12 noes. The item fails. I need a quick break. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to stand informal for the next 10 minutes. Be back at your seats at 11:34. Please, I'm pounding the gavel at 11:35. Okay, for real this time. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Alexander.
Present.
Belinsky. Here. Capriolo.
Here.
Cogs Jones.
Here.
Ekblad.
Here.
Gomez Tom.
Here.
Johnson Jr.
Here.
Logston.
Present.
Martin. Martinez.
Here.
O'Connor.
Here.
Rolland.
Here.
Shea.
Here.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17. Vincent.
Present.
Wasserman. Wasserman.
Excuse.
Madam Chairwoman.
Present.
17 members.
17 members present. We have a quorum. Mr. Clerk, we are now on item 10.
Item number 10, amendment number 10, online donation portal report.
Any discussion on this item? Supervisor Ekblad?
Ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Vincent?
Same thing, please.
Any other co-sponsor requests? Seeing none, so order. Any other discussion on the item? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption of item 10. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad. Aye. Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Aye. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5.
Excused.
Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Aye. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
17 ayes.
17 ayes, 0 noes. The item prevails. Mr. Clerk, item 25.
Item 25, MCTS Uniformed Security CJF cameras.
Any discussion on the item? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
No.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad. Aye. Gomez Tom.
No.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
No.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
No.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
No. Ten ayes, 7 noes. The item prevails. Mr. Clerk, item 26, please.
Item 26, reduce courthouse power upgrade, add Cooper parking lot.
Any discussion on the item? Supervisor Alexander?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I just wanted to note for other supervisors that I went out to the Cooper Park parking lot, and when I got out of my car and walked around, I was absolutely flabbergasted that we have been quoted such high prices over 5 years for the long-term replacement here. I'm intending, of course, to support this item, but I wanted it flagged for everyone's memory that I think we have a big problem in our county government right now where we have astronomical prices being quoted to us for some of our capital projects, and we're going to need to look into this because I think there's not just cost savings, but right sizing of our costs to be had before our next budget if we can take closer looks at how these numbers are being quoted to us and why. Is it related to our own policies? Is it related to things that we can change or alter? But what was it, $900,000 to replace a parking lot that's about twice the size of this room was absolutely insane to me. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I'll ask consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
You are?
Was that an objection, Supervisor?
No, I wasn't choosing on doing that. I just wasn't sure if it was someone else.
All right. Seeing no further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland. Shea. Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
17 ayes, 0 no.
17 ayes, 0 noes. The item is adopted. Mr. Clerk, 29, please.
Item 29, Code of Conduct for County Board.
Any discussion? Supervisor Logsdon?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Yes, I brought forth this amendment. As we've noticed in the past, recent past, we've had a lot of point of orders, and we've had some constituents actually that have come into our meetings and were not treated maybe the best. It takes a lot of courage for them to come out and speak up, and we need to show them decorum. So I brought this forth. It's just we're going to have actually human resources and and we're going to have a corporation counsel work on this to bring forth some kind of format in which we can have a code of conduct that can be enforced. I did check with other counties, and they are looking forward to see what we come up with, because it's not only Milwaukee County that has a need for this, it's other counties. And I do want to state that our employees in Milwaukee County are under a code of conduct, not the supervisors at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5, Taylor District 17.
No.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
It's never going to happen.
16 ayes, 1 no, 1 excuse. The item prevails.
She can't hear that.
Yep. So we are now on item 30 with a substitute in the packet, pink packet, is substitute number 12. Is there a motion to substitute? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk? Do we have to?
No one moved to substitute.
Okay. Okay. Supervisor Alexander?
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my understanding that I had offered, with the support of others, two different amendments to the budget, that the first that went before Finance that is currently listed as a substitute had a reporting back date that was sooner in 2026. At the request of the CIC, I offered a substitute amendment to Finance, which Finance then proceeded to approve and recommend. That is what's before us in the blue packet. So with unanimous consent from the body, I wish to withdraw the substitute so that we can proceed with the item in the blue packet.
Thank you, Supervisor. Item 12, Amendment 12 has been withdrawn. So we are on the original Amendment 30, or we are on the recommended Amendment 30. Yes, please.
Item 30, Staffing Stabilization Report.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cox Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rowland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
No.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
17 ayes, 1 no.
17 ayes, 1 no. The item prevails. All right, Mr. Clerk. Agenda item 7 on page 5 is complete. We've disposed of the 2 items in the pink digest. Those were the amendments rejected by the Committee on Finance. Number 8 on page 6 is complete, as the green digest outlines the fiscal effect of the 2 substitute amendments. And as we close out these packets, we want to thank the Finance Committee for their leadership in advancing these budget recommendations that were guided by our shared principles. Thank you so much, Finance Committee.
Thank you.
Yes, all right, excellent.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is amendments offered under suspension of the rules.
Mr. Clerk, do we got to do the rejected amendments? So we're in the yellow digest, yeah. If we had, see, that's the problem, we had 2 yellow digests.
My
All right.
apologies. We're actually
on item 9.
My apologies, Madam Chairwoman and members. We are now on amendments rejected by the Committee on Finance,
Thank you.
non-substitutes, the yellow digest.
Thank you. We're on item 9, page 6 of the digest. Those are the amendments rejected by the Committee on Finance. So this is the yellow digest with, it has a item 11 and 13, not the one from this morning. So these are rejected amendments that are not considered substitutes. There are 2. An author of an amendment may be, can ask to withdraw these. Otherwise, we'll take each separately. Supervisor Johnson.
Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell, I'm going to move adoption of the amendment. That would be Amendment 11. There was this discussion at one point.
Supervisor, let me get it read into the record.
Oh, yeah. Thank you,
And then I'll
Mrs.
go ahead and let you speak on it. So we'll first read them separately, Mr. Clerk. Item 11.
Item 11, reduce MCSO overtime, add 20 MCSO positions.
All right, so we're on item Amendment 11. Supervisor Johnson, on approval.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I move to adopt Amendment 11. Amendment 11 deals with reduction of overtime to create 10 deputy positions and 10 corrections positions. As it were across the country, For example, for 4 of the largest metropolitan departments with collectively 5,400 people for 2022, 2023, there were vacancies in the 4 largest law enforcement departments in the country for the years 2022, 2023. What we have here in our county is we have a training academy, and our training academy is, this, I've been told, and I believe I understand, it's the second best in the state. It's a regional training academy. The first is the State Patrol's Academy. Ours is second. I do also understand that for the local law enforcement departments, there are times when would-be applicants to those departments want to become law enforcement officers in those particular departments. They are recommended to go to our training academy. They don't have the wherewithal to train themselves. We, here in this area, we do have the MATC Training Academy, and we also have the Milwaukee County Training Academy. So persons come here, and they may stay here for 6 months, sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years, and then they go elsewhere. During the time that they are members of the Milwaukee County Deputy Sheriff's Department in particular, they look for other opportunities. They may think that they can go elsewhere where there's not as much stress, not as much risk to their safety as individuals, and they're thinking about their families. And what I am requesting is that supervisors vote to create these positions. There's also $300,000 for the pilot program for deputies to be on MTCS buses involved in this particular amendment. Now, one of the things that I remember as it relates to the discussion 2 weeks ago was that supervisors said that we have a number of vacant positions. Those positions were created after individuals passed, got through the probationary period, and became law enforcement officers. The other thing is some people left because of other opportunities. As I mentioned before, sometimes these persons went to the law enforcement departments where they reside. So those positions are on the books. People may leave for different opportunities. They may leave because they actually are burned out. And if they have the opportunity to leave, they may just leave because of the stresses that are in the jail, maybe stresses that are in the courts. 60% of the overtime that is used by the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office is used in the jails. 12% is used in the courts for bailiffs. The chief judge, 2 weeks ago, Chief Judge Carl Ashley, indicated he was for this measure, and he was for this measure because there aren't enough deputies to staff as bailiffs in the courts. Now, there are times when there are possibly safety problems if in courts, ideally you would like to have 2 deputies in a courtroom, and sometimes there's only 1 deputy in the courtroom because there's not an opportunity for people to relieve others to do something else. For those correction officers and those deputies that are in training, they have to stay in training. They have to stay in training, and they cannot go somewhere where they could actually work until they are completely through with their training. And this creates a burden. it creates a burden in as much as persons sometimes get overtime. It used to be mandatory overtime. That is not so much the case now because of changes in Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office's rules and how procedures are done. So again, I'm going to ask that my colleagues vote to approve this amendment. Again, persons leave because they may be burned out. They may be working 16-hour days. They may have to not leave wherever they are or go somewhere else to cover because somebody has used FMLA in order to work at a position, and that might be the 16-hour position. And then there are some who, because of a 13-year freeze, 13 years ago, there was a freeze. So it's only been recently that we've had classes of correctional officers and for deputies. There have been recently 4 correctional officers classes and 2 deputy officer classes. There have been 12 orientation sessions for correctional officers, and there's been a number of sessions for deputies within recent time. And again, after 12, 13 years of not hiring new people, those who are able to retire or those who are just because they want to spend more time with their families, whatever the case may be, they are in a position to leave. So I think these 20 new positions, along with the fact that $300,000 will be used for the MCTS pilot program, I think this is something within our best interest as Milwaukee County Supervisors on the behalf of the citizens of Milwaukee County. Thank you, Chairwoman Nicholson-Bovell.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other discussion? Amendment 11. Supervisor Logsdon?
Thank you, Chairwoman. I would like to thank the author of this amendment. We did work with the Sheriff's Department. We learned a lot about training. Every year, this board hears the same thing. We hear the Sheriff's Department is again in a deficit. Every year, we try to do something about it. Nothing ever becomes of it. We have a chance here to work on a solution to this problem. If we can get that extra class, the extra academy every year, and get those extra, the extra deputy sheriffs to come out of it, would be a great asset. It would not only be an asset to the Sheriff's Department and the CRC, but it would be an asset to our courts. Our chief judge also chimed in at the meeting and said this is something that we really need to think of doing, and it's very proactive. So I just wanted to add that, and thank you.
Supervisor Johnson?
Chairwoman, a couple weeks ago, Chief Deputy Barco indicated to the Finance Committee members and to anybody who was listening that so far there had been a saving of 6,000 hours. 2 weeks ago, those 60,000 hours mean $800,000 that wasn't spent on overtime. So again, the idea is to get more personnel in places so that eventually you don't have as much need for overtime. If you've got new persons going through these classes, and I said before, there had been 4 correctional officers classes and 2 deputy sheriff's classes. Tricia Carlson, I should say Inspector Tricia Carlson, who's head of the investigative services team, who was also the chief recruiter, is very happy about the fact that these classes have been conducted. And whereas before, over the last few years, they were not happening because of that 12, 13-year freeze, They are happening now. And as I said earlier, for the five largest police departments in the United States, 5,400 vacancies occurred in the years 2023. So it's just not a Milwaukee County phenomenon that people are not where they should be. Again, people have left in order to get other positions. Sometimes they've left after a while because this is the only regional training facility here, quality regional training facility here. And that's in Milwaukee County. We train the people, and some people leave. And that's been the reality. Thank you very much, Chairwoman.
Thank you, Supervisor Johnson, Jr. Supervisor Alexander.
There we go. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'd like to speak to what I know was an objection from some supervisors while these issues were being debated. Without going too far in the weeds, when we're talking about number of positions versus hours of overtime and what we're planning to have to spend money on next year, we have an opportunity on one hand to say, hey, Sheriff's Department, you can have an allocation for overtime and that's how you're going to spend your money. Or we can say, okay, if you see that you can find a way to reduce your overtime, even though it may not make sense to some supervisors how they think they'll be able to fill positions and reduce overtime, the department is still claiming they can do it. I'm hopeful that they can. So if we approve this amendment, it opens the door for, instead of us saying, you must use the money for overtime and that's your only option, we're giving them an option instead to use the money for straight time and only go into overtime with it if they have to. They can always move it into overtime later, but they're not able to move it as straight time later because they don't have the option with those positions. So if you're looking at them spending the money on overtime, why wouldn't we want to give the Sheriff's Department the ability or the option when they're saying this is a tool or a modification that they need? Let's at least give them the option to use straight time rather than insisting that we're writing a budget requiring overtime when we all obviously hate the idea of overtime. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Amendment 11. It has been moved. Supervisor Belinsky?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Just real briefly, I understand what my colleague is trying to do here, and I do think that, there might be some positions that need to be allocated at some point. We do have a staffing study that we authorized at last year's budget, which should be presented in December, which may give us a better idea of where we could be most effective with allocating new positions. And so at this time, I would hesitate to allocate to new positions, 10 and 10. Maybe it'll be 20-0, maybe it'll be 15-5, we don't know. But I just would rather wait until we get that staffing study back to make this decision. But I look forward to working with the Supervisor Johnson on a solution here in the future.
Supervisor Johnson?
Chairwoman Nicholson-Bovell, delay is not good. Delay is not good. The Sheriff's Department, through the Creative Corrections audit, the Sheriff's Department was given a number of recommendations, and some of those recommendations are already in place. They are being acted upon now. I heard what the supervisor said with respect to December, but this is an opportunity for this board to step up and show leadership, as opposed to having a whole bunch of people retire at the end of the year, and we're further behind than where we are now. So I don't know what's going to happen in December and after December, but this is an opportunity for the county board to step up, show its leadership. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk?
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
No.
Capriola.
Aye.
Cox Jones.
No.
Ekblad.
No.
Gomez Tom.
No.
Johnson Jr. Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
No.
O'Connor.
No.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5.
No.
Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
No. Ten ayes, 8 noes, the item prevails. Mr. Clerk, item 13.
Item 13, change budget summary table format.
Mr. Clerk, one moment.
It needs 2/3, I think. I think it needs 2/3. I don't know, but I just.
Yeah. Does that one?
I don't know. It'll be 12/6. You only need 2/3. No, it's not. It doesn't need. Okay.
Rejected, just as a majority, just a majority.
Right.
It's not 2/3.
The only way to change it would be if you're in the majority anyways, right? If you change your vote. Yeah, no, I'm talking about this right now.
Yeah. Mr. Clerk, item 13.
Item 13, change budget summary table format.
Any discussion?
Point of
Supervisor
order.
Alexander.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I would move adoption of Budget Amendment 13. This item was rejected by the Finance Committee. I remain baffled as to why we would not want to add clarity to our budget in future years. I understand that we've allowed things to be the way they are for a period of time, but when we can add clarity like totals and subtotals, I'm not asking to move money, I'm not asking to spend money, I'm not asking to do anything within the budget itself. I'm saying, let's just make sure it's printed and published and PDF'd and put on our website in a way that has balanced totals. This makes sense. Constituents I've talked to have unanimously supported it, so I ask for your support again today. Thank you.
This item has been moved for approval. Any discussion? Supervisor Taylor, 17.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The administration spoke on this. We're not doing anything wrong. I've never heard of anybody being confused before. This was the first we ever heard it. If you want to have a full debate at maybe a finance committee level or something, that's fine. But to just bring it as an amendment, like I said, I think we win awards annually for how we report. Unnecessary, reject.
Any other discussion? Y'all been trying to hold it together all day. Okay. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky.
No.
Capriola.
Aye.
Cox Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
No.
Johnson Jr.
No.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
No.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
No.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. No. Taylor District 17.
No.
Vincent.
No.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
No.
I got 8 ayes, 10 noes.
I'm sorry, it was how many?
8 ayes,
10 ayes. 8 ayes, 10 noes. The item fails. Yeah.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is amendments offered under suspension of the rules, which requires a two-third vote to suspend the rules. And is that signed?
Got one more.
Oh, there's one more? Oh. I thought there were two.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I thought there were two, sorry.
Supervisor Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you to this body. I waited all morning for this, so I'm just going to say that we all stand up for things that are in our districts, and I want to thank sincerely everyone who co-sponsored this amendment, and also to those who may not have supported it, but are supporting it being included in the 2027 budget, which it's listed as of this time. All of us have important needs in our supervisory districts, and District 11 is no different. Since becoming a county supervisor in 2022, I have consistently advocated for the residents of District 11 and for this project to receive the funding that it deserves. While I'm disappointed that after waiting our turn, this project did not get included on the approved list, I understand that there are many priorities competing for limited resources at this time. Still, despite waiting patiently in line, other projects have moved ahead on the CIC list. It is my sincere hope that I can count on all of your support in the 2027 budget to ensure that this project is finally funded. The residents of District 11 contribute significantly to Milwaukee County through their taxes, and this project, one that raises genuine safety concerns, deserves attention and investment. I'm encouraged that safety is being addressed through our collective work, and will continue to advocate for projects that protect and benefit our community. Today, I wish to withdraw this amendment. It is not me giving up, but rather it reflects my commitment to looking at the bigger picture and supporting a budget that meets the broader needs of Milwaukee County. I remain dedicated to fighting the good fight for my residents in District 11 for their priorities, which remain part of the county's long-term vision. Thank you for your continued support. I remain committed to building a budget that serves and uplifts all residents of Milwaukee County. I'm encouraged that together we are addressing critical needs such as transportation, medical services, safety, and the preservation of our cultural institutions. So with that, I respectfully withdraw.
Amendment 13 has been withdrawn, so that dispenses of our yellow digest. Mr. Clerk.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is amendments offered under suspension of the rules, which requires two-thirds vote to suspend the rules and is non-debatable.
Mr. Clerk, are there any amendments being offered under suspension?
I'm not aware of any. Nothing's been presented.
Okay. Supervisor Wasserman?
I'd like to make an amendment. First of all, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to offer my amendment on facial tattoo.
All right, 1 second, Supervisor Wasserman. We can't speak to the amendment yet. It's non-debatable, so does it just trigger automatic vote? Okay. So what we're going to do is, Supervisor Wasserman, we'll go ahead and vote amongst the body that it's okay to go ahead and consider your resolution, your amendment. Okay, Mr. Clerk.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended to consider that item? Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky. Aye. Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea. Aye. Taylor, District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye.
18 ayes.
18 ayes, the rules are suspended. And for those who were not aware, Tuesday at 4:29 p.m., Monet sent out this amendment. Supervisor Wasserman, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman. And I also like to thank my colleagues for the suspension of the rules vote that just took place. First of all, there is a real issue for members of the CRC who are looking for jobs, looking for housing, and who have facial tattoos. I heard this body because you've seen two different versions of this thing, both with costs involved with it. I've removed the costs on this thing. All I'm calling for is a feasibility study to look at this issue with the CRC, with our medical providers, to see what we can afford and what we can't afford. We've been talking about what we can afford all morning long, and we cannot have something just blindly put money forward without a study on this thing. So I'm just calling for a study. These reports could be coming from them. We're going to see what we can afford and what we can do with this in a very logical fashion. So that's what's before us. These people need help, but we also have to pay for it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Wasserman. I'll ask consent to be added as a co-sponsor. Supervisor Alexander.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I ask unanimous consent to be added as a co-sponsor.
Supervisor Vincent.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to be added as co-sponsor, and I'd like to make a comment towards my towards you through the District 3 supervisor. I just want to say that part of what I really enjoy serving on this body is our ability to be collegial and work together and have conversations. I totally understand the intent of this particular resolution, and I support it. Supervisor Wasserman and I had a lengthy discussion the other day about the timeliness of this particular resolution and the cost involved. And what I really like about him and all of you is your ability to listen and to take things into consideration. I do believe this is a matter that we need to continue the conversation on. I think there are private sources out there that will work with the county to help these individuals reintegrate into the community. But I especially just want to give a shout out to Supervisor Wasserman for his professionalism, for returning my call. He always does. And for listening. I really feel that our conversation was very meaningful. It was last night, right before this meeting came today, and he's a very professional individual who does take the time to listen to his colleagues on the board. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Supervisor Vincent. Any other discussion? Supervisor Martin? All right. Hearing no objection, so ordered. And Supervisor Capriolo? I'm not sure if I listed on it. I said I would be on it originally, so if I'm not, please. All right, Supervisor Capriolo asked to be added. All right, hearing no other discussion. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption. Supervisor Alexander.
Aye.
Belinsky. Aye. Capriolo.
Aye.
Cogs Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsdon.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. 18 ayes, 0 noes. The item prevails. Ms. Clerk, where are we? Any other items under suspension of the rules? Supervisor Alexander.
Point of information, Madam Chairwoman. I'm wondering, when we last considered suspension of the rules, was there a request for unanimous consent and an objection, or did we go automatically to a roll call vote? I wasn't sure if I missed it or if there was a reason we were required to roll call vote. I thought that under our ordinances, it was only required if we had an objection.
It did go to roll call vote, but.
While 1.04 parent 2 would indicate any action under suspension of the rules would require a roll call vote, that wasn't the action itself. 1.04 parent 3 or sub 3 indicates any action to suspend the rules unless unanimous consent be granted. So I just wanted to make sure that I understood if there was a reason that we were jumping straight to roll call votes for that.
Supervisor, we'll defer to what you read out to us, but we've already dispensed of the item. Are you calling to reconsider it, or you just wanted to make clear?
I'm not. I wanted to
okay.
understand if we were following the ordinances as prescribed, or if there was a different reason that the chair was choosing to call roll call votes when they're not required.
There wasn't another reason other than he made the motion, I went to vote. It could have been muscle memory. So there was no particular reason
Perfectly
why.
fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is agency number 1991, adoption of property tax levy as amended.
All right, we are on page 8 of the digest, adoption of tax levy. We are going to vote on org unit 1991, property taxes as amended. Director Katie, could you share with us where we are and read into the record the levy recommendation that is being considered?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I've displayed on the screen the summary numbers under the County Board column, which includes the tax levy. The tax levy, based on the actions taken today, is $309,014,834. This represents a 3.48% increase in the tax levy from the 2025 adopted amount, but it also reflects a reduction of $1,739,168 from the 2026 recommended tax levy.
Director Katie, what was the percentage? What was the percentage in the recommended budget?
Madam Chairwoman, the recommended tax levy increase in the recommended budget was 4.1%, which, based on the actions of the County Board, has been reduced to 3.5%.
Thank you, Director Katie. So we've invested in areas while also reducing our tax levy. Okay. Any questions, Supervisor Rowland?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I know in the Finance Committee meeting, we had talked about the property tax just on average going down a penny per thousand. Is that still the case now?
Yes, based on the countywide equalized value, the tax rate per $1,000 decreases for next year to $2.92 from $2.93 of countywide equalized value.
Supervisor Alexander?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'd like to ask if staff could tell us what the rate of growth was in Milwaukee County for the calculation when determining what our allowed tax levy increase would be.
Supervisor, Madam Chairwoman, I don't have that figure in front of me under the tax levy limit. Most of the allowable increase in the tax levy was not due to net new construction. Most of it was due to the increase in the outstanding debt. The state tax levy limit is adjusted and permits the county to go up for any increase in the debt. However, it also works the other way. When your debt decreases, you have to reduce your tax levy.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Checking my understanding of what staff reported. So we are allowed to raise the tax levy for 2026, but the majority of that allowance is not due to growth and expansion in the county and higher property values. It is due to us having more debt and the state allowing us to increase taxes to pay that debt.
Yes.
Thank you.
The state recognizes that you need to levy to pay your outstanding general obligation bond debt.
Thank you, Director Katie. All right. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption of the property tax levy as amended. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cox Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea. Aye. Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Aye. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. 17 ayes, 1 no. The item is adopted.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is adoption of the budget as amended.
All right. We are now on item 12, page 8 of the digest, adoption of the budget as amended. Any wish to be heard? All right, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Question is adoption of the budget as amended. Supervisor Alexander.
No.
Belinsky.
Aye.
Capriolo.
Aye.
Cox Jones.
Aye.
Ekblad.
Aye.
Gomez Tom.
Aye.
Johnson Jr.
Aye.
Logsden.
Aye.
Martin. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Connor.
Aye.
Rolland.
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Taylor District 5. Taylor District 17.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Wasserman. Madam Chairwoman.
Aye. 17 ayes, 1 no. We've adopted a budget.
Congratulations.
Mr. Clerk,
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is County Board citations and certificates.
located on page 9, are there any additions or corrections to citations and certificates? Hearing none, First Vice Chair Shea moves these be adopted. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. This listing of County Board citations and certificates is adopted.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is files not referred to standing committees.
Also on page 9 of the digest, files not referred. There are no files listed. First Vice Chair Shea moves these be received and placed on file. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Files not referred is received and placed on file.
Madam Chairwoman, the next order of business is announcements and remarks under special privilege, followed by adjournment.
O'Connor, followed by Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell. And I also want to thank my colleagues on the Finance Committee and Chair Johnson Jr. for leading us through a successful budget season. I truly enjoyed serving on this committee. And also thank you to my colleagues during the entire amendment process. I think it was really collaborative. We came from many different points of understanding, and I think we had some valuable discussions. So I'm just pleased to be part of this process. And I also want to thank all the constituents and the residents who came to various town halls, including showing up at the domes, people who have filled our inboxes. There's so much passion, so much commitment to working with us, and I'm just really appreciative. So thank you all. My second announcement is that I would like to invite you all, and there will be something in your email shortly. Next week is Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day of Dialogue. And we are planning something on the North Shore. We are having a panel discussion on Thursday evening to honor the legacy of Ruby Bridges when she desegregated schools, and also addressing what this means for education going forward in Wisconsin. So I invite you all to attend. During this process, I learned that Congresswoman Moore and Russ Feingold in 2010 took this to the Capitol and made it was a response to the first grade class at Barton Elementary. So who's got Barton Elementary in their district? Anyone know? Not sure. So the first graders asked for this National Day of Recognition, and that was successful. So the North Shore Health Department, the Whitefish Bay Public Library, Milwaukee County Transit, Milwaukee County Office of Equity, AARP Wisconsin, the Bike Federation, Bay Bridge and my county office are all coming together for this event next Thursday at the Whitefish Bay Public Library. We have a panel with Kenyatta Sinclair, Kendia Terry, Ashley Fleming. It will be moderated by Aaron Bledsoe. Dynasty Caesar will also be on that panel, and we just had a late acceptance, and we are thrilled to include Dr. Means from the Wauwatosa School District. So I think it'll be a really great discussion, and I invite you to join me next Thursday. Thank you.
Supervisor Vincent.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. A couple thank yous as well. I would like to also thank the residents of District 11 who showed up in pretty good numbers to my town halls, and I'd also like to thank I think there were close to 400 people that showed up at our budget hearing last week. I didn't count them all, but it seemed like that many. The involvement in this county in our discussions is extremely important to the work we do. So I just want to thank everyone out there who has had a voice in their government and will continue to have a voice. I also just want to say a special thank you as Veterans Day is coming up next week. I really want to say a special shout out to Supervisor Capriolo for once again organizing us to go to the honor flight return last week, Saturday. The Youth Commission was there, not in large force, there were 3 of them there, but we had 6 supervisors, 3 youth commissioners, and a couple of county staff as well. Our veterans mean so much to us. Next week we'll be celebrating Veterans Day, so I just want to say a thank you to all the veterans out there, but especially to Supervisor Capriolo for really taking us to that level of being there for their returns. These men and women, mostly men, but there were a few women, were very emotional coming back. And even as I stand here right now, I get some chills up my spine because their service to our country is why we're all standing here right now. So let's give them a hand, actually, our veterans. And then it's on a sad note, I'm going to end today, but in case you did not hear, I think I sent something out to the whole board now. There was a loss, and I want to thank the chairwoman, by the way, Chairwoman Marcelia Nicholson Bovell. Did I say that right this time? I want to thank you for appointing me and for this board approving me to be on the Milwaukee Public Library Board. I've been serving proudly on that board for 3 years now. It is with deep sadness that I share the passing of Mark Sane, our Board of Trustees president. He just passed away this past week. I want to send my condolences out to his wife, Charlotte. He has 18 grandchildren and just his entire family. There will be a visitation next Friday at Krause Funeral Home. There's also going to be a funeral service on Saturday. A New Testament, I think is the name, but I can share that if I haven't already. Mark Sane, I can't even put in words what he has done in his lifetime. He also was a former Milwaukee Public School Board of Directors. I don't know if you served with him, Supervisor Taylor, but the man is just incredible. You would not even know in his final months and this year that he was in suffering. He just came with the utmost strength. He came with passion. He was a wonderful leader, a friend. He will be greatly missed. So I just want to send my condolences out to his family and thank him for his many years. And there will be a citation, memorial citation coming out from the Board of Supervisors for his family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. If I can, Supervisor Johnson, I just wanted to once again thank you as Finance Chair and your committee members for hosting, I think, a very productive, deliberative budget process. I want to especially thank supervisors who don't sit on the Finance Committee but showed up consistently to weigh in ahead of time and help shape the recommendations that came out of the committee. But more than that, I want to thank our incredible staff across the county who's made this work possible, from board staff who helped set up meetings, educational materials. They helped coordinate the public hearing at the Domes and our finance dinner. They helped get together this presentation and all the wonderful things we're enjoying today, as well as getting constituent concerns to each and every one of us. I want to thank our research division that's head by Director Katie. Really, the work you do is thankless, but it's essential. We would not be here without you and your staff. To our comptroller's office, we see our comptroller, Sumner, I was going to say supervisor, former supervisor Sumner. Our budget office, thank you so much. Joe left, but Director Lamers has been very helpful during this process as well. Our clerk's office, thank you, our clerk, deputy clerk, your coordinators, and our LAs for their incredible work, and our Office of Corporation Counsel, who make sure we don't break any laws. Yeah. This is my 10th county budget. Everyone is no easier, but I just have to say the work has become more and more rewarding over time because of what we're able to do for our community. So thank you all so much. Supervisor Johnson.
Thank you, Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell. I want to thank Vice Chair Taylor of the Finance Committee and the members of the Finance Committee for their diligence, for their attendance, for doing what they believed they needed to do, for listening intently, and serving on this committee. I also want to acknowledge my friend Mark Singh, former Assistant Fire Chief for the Milwaukee Fire Department, number two person, I should say, in that department. He was also the Milwaukee Public Schools President of the Board of Directors. And as I learned a few days ago, MPL stands for Milwaukee Public Library. And as Supervisor Vincent has indicated, he was the president of that Board of Directors from 2022 till just recently. So I want to give tribute to my friend, condolences to his family, and he was a very honorable man, and I'm glad to call him my friend. Thank you, Chairwoman Nicholson.
Thank you, Supervisor Johnson.
Bovell.
Thank you.
Nicholson Bovell.
Thank you, Supervisor Johnson. And thank you to Finance Vice Chair Taylor, 17, for stepping in and supporting, chairing the meetings. And I made this mistake at Harvest Fest, so I want to make sure I don't make it again, is to acknowledge our comm staff, our incredible comm staff, who's also in our clerk's office, but they've done an incredible job getting information out to the public. Thank you, Aaron and Eddie. Jeremy, too, you're in there, too. All right. Any other announcements? Supervisor Cox-Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to share with you all that District 13 will be hosting 2 listen and learn sessions. I created this listen and learn session to just further educate the residents of any upcoming changes, and with MCTS being the hot topic of Milwaukee, I figured that that would be a great conversation to have. So we'll host 2, one on November 11th at Northcott Neighborhood House, and the other is on November 18th, which will be at the MLK Library. And Supervisor Martin and Supervisor Taylor, if it's okay, to speak about the McGovern. Clinton Rose will be hosting, I guess you could call it a listen and learn session as well. with Supervisor Taylor and Supervisor Martin on November 11th to discuss all the concerns that I call them the Queens of McGovern has brought to the board. So it'll be a great month, right? I knew someone was going to ask me a question. Let me see. No, it is November 11th at the Clinton Rose Center at 1:30. For the McGovern, for the Queen of McGovern. 11. And then the Listen and Learn session with MCTS is at 11 on November 11th at Northcott Neighborhood House. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Of course. Any other announcements or remarks under special privilege? I'm sorry, Supervisor Shea.
Thank you, Chairwoman Nicholson Bovell. I want to thank everyone who had anything to do with this process, whether they be in the administration, on the board, on the Finance Committee, and all those people who wrote in, and especially those who showed up at the domes and spoke passionately. I believe we have done the best we can with a very brutal hand we've been dealt. And I think this board, and in the larger sense, Milwaukee County government, and even Milwaukee County, can be proud of how it has spoken out and the work it has taken to do the best we can with the sometimes miserable cards we've been dealt. So, and I also particularly want to thank this board for getting us done at a reasonable hour. Former Chair Lipscomb told horror stories about not finishing this process till 1 in the morning, and I, for one, am very glad we're not here that long. So, thank you, all my colleagues. Even if I disagreed with your vote, I appreciate the difficult circumstances under which your vote was cast. So, thank you.
Supervisor Alexander.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Briefly, just as the lone protest vote on the tax levy and the budget as a whole, I still want to acknowledge, I know everybody brought something to the table. I know that everybody worked hard on giving input, taking constituent concerns and public hearing comments, et cetera, seriously, and looking for ways to keep moving the county forward. So I just wanted everyone to hear straight from me. My no vote doesn't mean that I don't recognize that or appreciate it. I do, and I want to thank the staff for everything that they do for us, from legal to comms to research and anybody I'm not mentioning, because I know that they all put in countless amounts of effort to support each and every one of us in the public we serve. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other announcements or remarks? All right, on adjournment. And before we adjourn, folks, just stick around for a moment so we can take our photo, our budget photo. Okay. First, Vice Chair Shea.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move adjournment to Thursday, November 13th at 1:30 p.m. for the next meeting of Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors, should that the veto session be necessary. I also move adjournment to Thursday, December 18th at noon for the next meeting of the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. This meeting is adjourned.